Hey everyone, welcome to my sunny peach garden right in the heartland of England. Everything is in bloom, the blossoms are coming through, the flowers are budding, and it feels like nature is waking up from its wintry slumber. I can't think of a better place to spend some time in meditation, especially within the Taoist system, which requires the practitioner to be outside when he or she meditates. The concept of Taoist meditation centers around the individual absorbing their immediate environment, becoming a sponge for the natural qi of the area, taking in all of the nutrients from the grass, the minerals from the rocks, and all of the goodness from the trees and vegetation. These methods of eating your environment should only be done if the area is safe, clean, and vibrant. Do not try this if you meditate in an area of high pollution, litter, or dead vegetation. For example, absorbing qi from a dying plant can cause illness in some people because the plant will contain too much yin energy, which is destructive. Long-time viewers will recognize this area in my video. I practice meditation in this spot all the time. This is known as a power spot. A power spot is an area of outstanding natural qi where the veil between the material and spirit world becomes very thin. Some spots are used for healing and fertility, whilst others are viewed as gateways into hidden realms and underworlds. When a magician practices magic within one of these divine spots, it will enhance the experience tenfold, which is why feng shui masters will spend weeks finding power spots. Once one is found, it must be recorded. Some traditions also believe it must be kept secret. A spot like this one here is a prime example, a physical representation of a fracture within reality, where power can be drawn for various purposes. Animals and people may be drawn to a spot and not know why. Every power spot has its most powerful feature known as a power point, where the strongest energy radiates from. This feature could be a rock or a tree or a river. It may appear ordinary enough to the untrained eye, but this tree here is the center of my power spot. The qi directly underneath this tree is the strongest within the area. The further away I go, the weaker the qi is. It's like losing reception. Before going into a power spot, the magician should first ask for permission from the nature spirits. These guardians are not malevolent, they simply protect certain areas from intruders. One should approach them with respect and honor. By using intuition and gut feeling, you will know if the response is good or bad. If the spirit does not want you to intrude, then simply go elsewhere. Do not force your way in. Although each one is different, a consistent pattern with power spots is not what you can usually see, but what you can hear, a distinctive humming sound. Have you ever been in a place where the silence is so loud, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's so quiet, you can hear the quietness? This is a dead giveaway that you are in a naturally powerful area. You'll notice on my altar table I have some tools. Now I won't go through all of them, I'll just go through the ones that are relevant to this exercise. There are 3 incense sticks which mark the practitioner's relationship with the Shen of earth and heaven. Shen roughly translates to soul and mind. Having 2 incense sticks would be yin, and having 3 would be yang. The incense is red sandalwood incense, known in Chinese as Ton Xiang. It is mostly used to communicate and conjure entities. It will also help induce visions within the practitioner, and this is going to be especially useful for this meditation. The smoke will alert the deities that a ritual is taking place. And I also have a bronze statue of my personal spirit guide, Master Zhuge Liang, otherwise known as Kong Ming. Kong Ming is deeply connected to the history of Taoist weather magic. In my practice, he is central to the tradition. He will also watch over me during the working. Lastly, I have my Kong Ming feathered fan with a pre-heaven Bagua sequence. So now that we have established our power spot, we can begin the meditation that will allow us to influence the weather later on via Taoist weather magic. There are many different meditations for weather magic rituals. I'm sure some of you will have heard of the 3 invocations and the 1 through 10 meditation. These are brilliant, but the one that I mostly use is designed to let practitioners directly communicate with nature's spirits. It will put you in touch with the appropriate beings. You can choose to either sit or stand for this exercise. I prefer to stand because I think it allows the qi to flow better around the body. Start by breathing into your lower dantian. This is your stomach area. Breathe deep into the stomach and focus on activating your own natural power. With each breath, you should feel larger and more expansive. Then visualize that your legs are grounded in the soil, deep down in the ground. With each breath you take, you can feel your feet and legs going further into the soil, where they become like tree trunks, sapping up the nutrients and qi from the earth's soil, with the roots going all the way down. Imagine the moisture and temperature of the soil as the qi travels up your spine. Feel your roots consuming the water in the ground, and allow yourself a few minutes to perfect this visualization. Remember, it's not a race. Don't rush this. Feel the energy of both water and earth fuse together. As they fuse, they will create a special mist. Imagine a divine vapor which is rising from the ground, going to the base of your spine, traveling all the way up your body. This mist is warm and pleasant as it travels into your lower dantian, your stomach, filling it with warm energy. Then imagine it traveling beyond the lower dantian into the middle dantian, the chest area. It should continue to expand all the way to the upper dantian, the top of the head. By now, all three dantians should be full of qi, and you should be in a deep state of flow or trance. Now you should also visualize that you have branches. These branches curve upwards towards the heavens, then curve down to the earth. Imagine them as vines, twisting and breathing and moving. Feel them with all of the sensation that you have. Imagine your branches as they interact with the power spot. As you breathe, the branches continue to expand with every breath you take, going far beyond the reach of your human arms. Feel the qi radiate from the earth. Feel it traveling through your network of vines. Once again, it feels warm, refreshing, and very pleasant. The feelings will differ from person to person. I feel a lot of vibrations within my hands and forearms when I do the branch visualization. I've heard some practitioners feel slight electricity or a prickly sensation on the skin. So don't worry if your experience is somewhat different. Imagine that you are grounded, totally connected to the earth, like that of a tree. You are the earth itself. Visualize the qi of the earth flowing through your branches like water flowing through a fountain. Try to imagine what the qi would sound like. To me, it sounds like an ambient humming noise. Focus your attention on the sound of the energy as it travels throughout your branches. I know some of us are easily distracted by external noises, so if you hear birds chirping and leaves rustling, just let it be the natural soundtrack of your meditation. After you have gathered qi from the earth, now focus on gathering qi from the air. Feel your vines as they eat the light from the sky. Imagine what the light would taste like, what consistency it would have as you consume it. Let yourself feel the warmth of the earth as it rises from the soil into your body. Remember, you are now plugged into the earth. You are able to receive its blessings. Take a few moments to notice how your own branches entwine with all of the other energetic frequencies in the area. Around this point in the meditation, I started to hear whispers of the nature guardians, so I knew the veil was slowly being pulled back. With each passing moment, I felt a stronger connection. This next part is very important. You should take a moment to appreciate all of the living beings around you, the trees, the birds, the insects, the ground itself. Notice that you are sharing the same fundamental life force that they are. You are sharing the same sun, the same moon, the same water, air, and earth. Despite your differences, You are sharing the exact same existence as everything else within this reality. This is similar to the concept that we are all one. You will learn how to tap into this state of being every time you meditate within your power spot, and it's very humbling. Now you should be able to begin the spirit communication. Do not speak out loud. Instead, let all communication happen via telepathy. I always begin by saying something like this. In ancient times, man and nature were one of the same. The modern world has forgotten the bond between us, but I haven't. I know that you are there, and you know that I am here. Please let us have a polite conversation. I wish to share in your wisdom. That's what I will usually start with. Next, ask a question in your mind to the nature spirit. This is known as testing the connection. Ask something and await a response. Explain in detail what it is that you desire to know. Explain the true purpose of your visit. Do not lie or conceal any information from the spirit. These beings can read human minds, and they will know instantly if someone has a hidden agenda. If the nature spirits are happy to talk with you, then give them some more details. Ask them things such as, what day should I practice my weather ritual? Where should the ritual be performed? Should I practice at night or during the day? What wind direction should I summon? What colored robe should I wear, etc., etc. Give them as much detail as possible. During this meditation, I asked about my upcoming rainmaking ritual. The spirit gave me the exact date and also promised me that it would join me on the day of the working, which is fantastic for me because it makes the whole experience so much better. And it's even possible that I could cause a potent result instead of just summoning a rain that may last just 3 days. Now it could last for a whole week. Same with snow, same with wind. It's even possible to change the weather in different countries whenever you have one of these spirits on your side. They totally take the magic to another level. One really interesting thing that you could ask for is this. I need a special magical tool or talisman. Where can I find it? I asked this very question during the meditation. The spirit responded, it cannot be bought, it must be found. I will show you where to find it. Sometimes you will hear a voice, other times you will see what will appear as a guiding light, a light that will guide you to a certain spot or place where you can find what you need. You may have sudden flashes of intuition, for example, I feel compelled to dig a hole in this spot, or I feel drawn to this corner, or I feel like I want to go in the woods. This is the nature spirit using psychic signaling rather than vocal communication. The bottom line is, if you feel compelled, then always trust this feeling. Sometimes a nature spirit will also recommend an earthly teacher. I feel honored that when some of my friends have tried this meditation, their local nature guardians have recommended me for weather magic. It's all about pointing the practitioner in the right direction. If you want to build trust with the spirit, ask for its true name and ask for details on how to summon it in the future. This will include a special hand seal and an incantation. I wish I could tell you more about my spirit, but I am bound by contractual agreement not to give too much info. The same will apply to you. Never ever share personal information about your power spot's location, nor reveal the name of the spirit or its history. Instead, keep this information in your own personal grimoire. Do not allow anyone else to read it. When asking the nature spirit for assistance, here's what you shouldn't do. Do not be arrogant and haughty. Don't be stuck up and snooty. Don't be pushy and don't demand anything from them. Also, on the flip side of that, do not be passive and timid. Don't be a pushover with no sense of assertiveness. Do not be shy. Although most of these spirits are benevolent, some can be aggressive. And the last thing that you would want to do is to step into a power spot with a timid demeanor, because you will get psychically manhandled by the spirit, believe me. There's a middle area between being a snobby demanding jerk and being a weasel. Go to the middle path. That's the Taoist rule. Be commanding but never demanding. Be polite but never beg. Be open to suggestions. These spirits won't help you if you are stubborn and have an ego complex. Treat the spirit with respect and honor, but never worship them. There is proper etiquette when it comes to Taoist magic. Equal respect. I myself have had a few bad experiences with the power spots in my local woods. I've made a video on this before. I communicated with a spirit, but I didn't properly conclude the ritual very well. I left the gateway open between the spirit realm and the physical world, and the entity followed me all the way from the woods back to my house, where it caused incredible poltergeist activity. I actually ended up having to use thunder magic rites to exorcise it. So please be careful. Now that we've talked about entering the power spot and meditating and communicating with the spirit, let's talk about leaving the power spot correctly. Before you finish the meditation, be courteous and tell the spirit when you plan on returning for the final ritual. These nature guardians have a much different concept of time, so they may say something like, return during the next full moon. I've had that one quite a few times. Tell the spirit that it is invited to join in with your ritual. Tell it to bring other spirits if it wishes. This kind of interaction will help build trust with the practitioner and the entity. Always leave the power spot the same way you found it. Clean up the altar. Never leave any litter or incense or candles or anything around, but always leave an offering of thanks to the spirit. The traditional offering is rice wine, which is poured out onto the ground nearest to the strongest power point, which in my case is this beautiful tree. You can leave other offerings such as fruit, tobacco leaves, and flowers, then exit the power spot. So what have I achieved here? Well, now I know the date, time, and details of my up and coming rain ritual. I know it should be practiced at 11 AM. I know instead of it taking 5 to 6 hours like the other rituals, this one will take only 3 because now I have assistance. I also know that I should use a hematite stone for summoning the rain, and the rest is for me to know. So thanks for watching. This is just one of the many Taoist meditations. You can pretty much use it for anything you like, not just weather magic, but I found it works really well for Taoist weather magic. So take care everybody, I'll be back soon.